Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Dear students, welcome to PMDC online lecture room. Our today lecture is from chapter 13 of grade 12 chemistry. In this video lecture, we will discuss about the reactions of third period elements with water, oxygen and chlorine. Dear students, our today lecture has three portions. In the very first portion, we will discuss about the reaction of water with each and every element of the third period. In the second portion, we will study about the reaction of oxygen with all the elements that belongs to third period. And in the last third portion, we will study about the reaction of chlorine with different element that belong to third period. So coming to the first portion, which is about the reaction of water with different elements of third period. The first element of the third period is sodium. When sodium reacts with cold water, it produces hydrogen gas and a colorless solution of sodium hydroxide. The reaction is totally exothermic. Here is the example. Now the second member of this period is magnesium. When magnesium reacts with cold water, the reaction will be very slow and it will produce magnesium hydroxide and hydrogen gas. But if the same magnesium reacts with steam or hot water, it will burn with a white flame to produce magnesium oxide, which is different than the first product, which is magnesium hydroxide and hydrogen gas. Similarly, when we study the reaction of aluminium with water, aluminium does not react with cold water. However, if aluminium powder is allowed to react with steam, it will form a hydrogen gas and aluminium oxide. This aluminium oxide will form a layer, a thin layer on the surface of aluminium and prevent it from further reaction. The fourth member of the third period is silicon. Silicon also does not react with cold water. However, when silicon is allowed to react with steam, it will form silicon dioxide and hydrogen gas. The fifth member of the third period is chlorine. When chlorine was allowed to react with water, it formed a green solution. This is a reversible reaction in which a mixture of hydrochloric acid and hypochlorous acid is formed. Hypochlorous acid is an unstable product and it will decompose in the presence of sunlight. Hypochlorous acid decomposes into hydrochloric acid and hydrogen and oxygen. The overall reaction is this one. Phosphorus is also a member of third period. Similarly, sulfur and argon. When all these three were allowed to react with water, they show no reaction, neither with cold water nor with steam or hot water. Now coming to the second portion. In this portion, we are going to discuss about the reaction of oxygen with each and every member of third period. When oxygen is allowed to react with sodium, it produces a yellow flame and form a white solid mixture of sodium oxide and sodium peroxide. And when oxygen reacts with the second member of the third period, that is magnesium, it burns with an intense flame and produce white solid of magnesium oxide. Here is the reaction of the third member, that is aluminium with oxygen. Aluminium reacts with oxygen to form aluminium oxide. This aluminium oxide forms a thin layer which prevents the aluminium surface from further reaction. If aluminium powder is sprinkled into a Bunsen flame, it will produce a white spark and form white aluminium oxide. Here is the reaction. Similarly, when silicon, which is a member of the third period, was allowed to react with oxygen, it produced silicon dioxide. The reaction of silicon and oxygen require high temperature condition. This is the reaction of the member of third period, that is phosphorus with oxygen. Phosphorus spontaneously catch fire in open air. They both react to form a white smoke of phosphorus trioxide and phosphorus pentoxide. When oxygen reacts with a member of third period, that is sulfur, it forms a blue flame to produce sulfur dioxide gas. And with the same oxygen, when chlorine is reacted, they show no reaction, neither for chlorine nor for argon. And in the third portion, we will discuss about the reaction of chlorine with each and every member of the third period. First, we will study the reaction of chlorine with sodium. It produces sodium chloride. When chlorine is allowed to react with magnesium, it produces magnesium chloride. And in a reaction of aluminium with chlorine, aluminium trichloride is formed. The reaction of chlorine with silicon produces silicon tetrachloride. Similarly, when chlorine was allowed to react with phosphorus, phosphorus trichloride and phosphorus pentachloride were formed. When chlorine is allowed to react with sulfur, it produces disulfur dichloride. And when the same chlorine was allowed to react with itself, they show no reaction. And when chlorine was allowed to react with argon, same situation was shown and no reaction was shown. Dear student, this last portion is about assignment. Try to understand and learn these MCQs. The third period, element that react rapidly with oxygen to form a protective oxide coating that prevent further reaction is. Pick one of these options and also try to learn these MCQs. Here are also some questions that are very important related to your exam. These are given as. Thank you all.